Hi guys, I want to talk to you today about making money. Listen, we all want to be millionaires, but there's sacrifices along the way. You know, you got to be frugal. You're buying those $5 coffees, you're out running around doing this and doing that because you have an extra buck here and there. Start doing more free things. Go to the park and have a picnic with your family. You know, go hit up the trails. You really got to start thinking wiser when it comes to if you're going to be making money, you got to know how to hold on to your money. Some people, when they get the money in their pocket, as soon as it's in their pocket, they have to spend. And they're like, well, I needed groceries. Well, we all need groceries, but that doesn't mean that you need 10 different bags of chips and 5 different bags of cookies and cakes and pies, and you know what I mean? Be a little frugal. Really think. If you're going to the grocery store, use your coupons. You know, some of the richest people I know are so frugal. Let me tell you, my mom and my stepfather, when they lived up in Ohio, my mother was the most frugal person there was. In her mind, she had to leave an inheritance for us kids any way she could. So she didn't spend money no matter what. She was always thinking of us, you know. And of course, she didn't leave us much, but she left us enough, you know. But she was frugal about it. If it wasn't on sale, she didn't buy it. She bought all of her clothes at thrift stores, you know. My sister one time went out there and Mom said to her, if we're taking you to a nice dinner, you're really going to enjoy it. So my sister and her husband got all dressed up, all fancy. Mom took them to the hospital to eat dinner. It was a, this hospital has fantastic dinners, they really do. And they were at a really good rate. Like, the pricing was just unbelievable. You went in there, you paid a couple dollars, and you got fine dining. You know? But that to Mom was saving money. You know, she was so frugal when we were growing up. We used the same Christmas wrapping paper over and over and over. You could see all the tape marks from all the years prior. And when we used a piece of little scotch tape, you were only allowed to use a little 1/4 inch. You know, you weren't allowed to use any more than that. My mom was the most frugal person ever. But she saved her money. She says, you know, I want you kids to have something someday. She thought of us. I want you to start thinking about that with your children or your nieces and nephews if you don't have children. Or, you know, your pets. What if you pass away and your pets are there? You know, maybe you need to pay for somebody to take care of those pets. Or, you know, there's always something. But you want to keep these things in mind. When you act frugal, you will save your money. And when you save your money, you can then put it in dividends and stocks and, you know, grow it. So when I go to a bank account and I need a new bank account, I research the banks. And I look for banks that have interest bearing accounts and not just annual interest. I don't want annual interest. I want a monthly interest, a 30-day accrual. That means every 30 days they put the interest into your bank account. And then that interest grows along with your money. And the next month you get even more. And it just builds. You know, that's one way. You keep thinking about this. So you're going for a bank account, really research them. You know, if you can find a bank account that is owned by uh, the account holders, they have fantastic programs for building your money and building it quickly. You go in there and they tell you, you know, this is a 30-day interest accrual, this is where you want your money. This one here, is an orange account. You put your money into an orange account and it'll grow dramatically. Really ask questions. Say, listen, I'm wanting to know. I only have a couple thousand, but I want to know where my money is going to grow the fastest. And I need to really be careful and take care of myself. And then don't touch that money. Put it in there and let it keep growing. And then use your other income, your other money to do, your grocery shopping and your bills and stuff like that. So I put so much in the bank and I keep so much out for, bills and whatever. Or I have an account for my bills too. So, and you want to really be frugal when it comes to your bills. So if you're paying a water bill, don't be out there just letting the water run when you're doing dishes. You know, fill yourself up just a small little dishpan full and use that. And then rinse it, in another little tiny dishpan. You don't need to just let the water run, let the water run. Oh, I feel like taking a bath tonight. Well, if you're taking a bath, you're using 50 gallons of water or whatever. When you take a shower, you're only using, 5 or 10 gallons of water because you're using less water. You may want to think about that. If you're out buying bottled water all the time, buy a Brita filter and filter your own water. It is so much cheaper. It is so much cheaper. Really think about these things. Do you need the heat on 75 degrees? No, you do not. Turn the heat down. Turn it down, put on a sweater. You know what I mean? You do not need to raise the heat up. And of course, some big old trucks down there making noise. I'm out here enjoying the sun. Really think about the things. Sorry, I'm shaking. I should have brought my tripod out with me. You really need to think, how can I be frugal? How can I do this to save a couple dollars? And you're thinking, yeah, that's only going to save me 30 cents a month. Why would I even bother? Let me tell you, over the years, that 30 cents builds up, and if it's going into an interest bearing account, then it's building up. And if you get the 30-day accrual, it's building up every month. Every month. So while you're sticking your change into a jar, and yes, I do that. I put all my change into a jar. I throw my dollars, my fives, my tens, my 20s, any extra stuff I have in my wallet, all go in that jar. And it builds up. And then when the jar is full, and it's a pretty big jar, I take it in and I cash it in and I put it into my bank account. So then it's building money. It's growing accrual. You definitely want to keep doing this. You know, some people are like, yeah, but I've done this and I deserve this. I'm sure you deserve that fancy vacation. You worked hard. But you know what? When you're 65 and you have children and grandchildren and great grandchildren to think about, it's like you're still working hard. You're still working. And you're like, okay, well, if I would have taken that vacation back then that cost me $10,000, I would have probably been able to afford this new car or to help my grandson get his first car. You really start thinking about these things. Nobody wants to be working all their life. People want to retire young, but you can't sit around and do nothing. You still got to be earning income. So that's where your stocks and your dividends and your interest bearing accounts come in handy. And you're building your businesses so that your businesses work for you. You want your businesses to work for you. So they are earning you money while you're sitting around enjoying that movie with your family. You win something. That's why I tell everybody, start a YouTube channel. Get on social media sites and start posting. Learn how they're making money and do it. Even if you only do a couple minutes every night, you're doing something. Now, I have days where I spend 15, 16 hours just working on my stuff, on my fan base, on my uh, Facebook, where I'm earning money on my Facebook. Haven't started earning money on my fan base, but I'm building it up now. I'm starting to get followers. I'm like so excited about that. You start building these up, and your YouTube, start building it up and start getting to where you're earning that money. So you might not earn a lot of money at first. You might get a couple dollars here and a couple dollars there. That's awesome. Put it into that 30-day annual or 30-day monthly interest, accrual interest. Start building it. It will eventually come, and you'd be surprised. So yeah, I know you're used to eating 3 eggs and a bunch of bacon and whatever else for breakfast. Yeah, maybe cut back on your breakfast a little bit and say, okay, I'm gonna start eating 2 eggs, and I'm gonna put 2 pieces of toast in there instead of 5 pieces of bacon, and only have 2 pieces of bacon. Some people cook up their bacon for the entire week, and that way they can have a couple pieces every day. Um, or maybe just a bowl of cereal for the day, for the breakfast, and start thinking, okay, I'm only saving a couple dollars a month if I do this. But that's a couple dollars that I can start paying on extra on my car loan or my house mortgage. I can put that in my gas tank. Right now, with gas prices being high, you can reallocate that money to other things. You can be like, okay, I'm able to start saving myself. I'm spending, let's say, $30 less a month. Take that $30 and put it on one of your loans and pay extra every month. That money's now reallocated. Sorry. Noisy truck. I apologize. When you start doing these things, it will change your life. And you're thinking at first, well, I don't really do, you know, a lot of stuff. I do this, this, and that, you know. Well, take 5 minutes of your day and start doing something else. Do something. If you're paying somebody to mow your grass twice a week or whatever, maybe call them up and say, hey, I'm only going to use you once a week, and start. Uh, I might have to take this inside. It looks like he's going to be working out here. Um, Maybe take that and start mowing your own grass once a week, or find somebody cheaper. Save yourself those couple extra dollars. My goodness, eventually you're going to become a millionaire. And if you keep practicing this, practice it every week, every day, every month. Practice it. Now all the dogs are barking because they heard the truck. They're all howling. Can you hear them? Knock it off. They're all being loud and noisy. Every time I want to film, something happens. Do you ever have that one person that comes in right in the middle of your filming, and they got to be loud and noisy about it? I need a little note on my door that says filming. I can put on the outside so they know when I'm filming. Because I get that all the time. I'm filming. You know, do whatever you can. So let's say it takes you 5 years to get your YouTube channel where you're making money. That's okay, because it's a future investment. Think about that. Don't get discouraged. Don't say, well, I've been doing this for 4.5 years. Nothing's happened. Don't worry. Once you get to 1,000, you'll grow faster. And my God, start a second and third channel now. You're thinking, well, I don't have time for that. I don't care. Just start it. Even if you put one video up, just start it. And then keep talking about it on your main channel. Say, hey guys, I really, really have this other channel. I know I only got one video up on it, but I've started it and I need it to grow. and people will come over. People will help you out. Let me know if you have a second or third channel. I'll come visit you. Do it, do it, do it. So you're thinking, well, you can't make that much on Facebook Reels. Hello. I do a couple videos a day and put up. I don't make that much because I'm in that 40 cent revenue where it's 40 cents for 1,000 views, but that could change at any point. Um, some of those people are making $35,000 a month. I hope they're just not out there spending it. I really hope they're putting it where it's building interest, where it's accruing interest. I hope they put in a good stock or, you know, learn something. Do it. Even if it just takes a few minutes of your day. Say, I don't have time for this. I come home from work, I bath the kids, get them ready, and then I'd make dinner and do the dishes and clean the house, and then I got to throw laundry in and get the kids' homework done and get them in bed. And, by the time I actually get to sit down for myself, I'm too tired to do anything. Well, you're sitting there watching YouTube videos, aren't you? Start putting all that stuff on YouTube. Have the craziness of your house. You know, it's hard to keep a house clean when you got a million kids in there. Start videotaping it, just throw it up there. Just start a YouTube channel. Me and my crazy family, whatever it takes, whatever it takes. You can always revamp that channel later down the road. Let's say you find a particular niche and you're like, oh, I'd really like to do this on my YouTube channel. You just go in and revamp it. Change your name. Let everybody know what you're doing so people know, and ask them to stay with you and keep following you. That's all you do. I revamped my second channel. So when I made my second channel, I had done it for my grandchildren, personally, just for my grandchildren. I was really surprised I got views on that. The people went on and watched me being all crazy. And I left those videos up. What's funny about it is that channel later on, it hit me that I could revamp that channel and make it something into what I wanted to make it into. And I did. I turned it into my travel channel. So now while I'm out on the road, I get to do travel videos. And every now and then I'll just post a video of me talking, Haven't been out yet, but this is when I'm heading out, that kind of thing. And let people know where I'm at. So they keep following me. And we don't want them to forget about us. Let me tell you, if you're posting YouTube and Facebook Reels and Fanbase and all those other sites that pay, let me tell you, if you can, post every day. If you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. Post every other day. There goes the dogs again. They're not happy with a forklift on the road here. They hear that backup beeper on the forklift. Well, I didn't want to make it this long, but I wanted to tell you someday you can do it. You could become a millionaire. But even millionaires are frugal. So learn how to do these things. Really start learning about money and compound interest. Got to learn about compound interest. It will change your life. Once you learn it, you practice it, you study it, study it, study it. Practice it every day, any way you can, and you will grow. Now, I'm not no millionaire, far from it, but I'm telling you, it happens. It really does. I know a lot of people that were millionaires. I used to work for a few of them, and they made a lot of money. They were the hardest workers I know. They showed up for work every day. They were frugal. They'd be like, I'll buy you a small coffee, just a little one. You can't get no big fancy cup of coffee. If you want a small black coffee, that's fine. They were frugal. They were frugal, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, they're pinching pennies. You know what? It took me a long time for that to open up my eyes. I would think, why? Why are they being so frugal when they have all this money? You know, they could be taking helicopter trips over top of Alaska, but they don't. They're saving their money. Their interest was building up their family and making sure they had money, good gifts, good gifts. They were giving good gifts to their children. They knew when they'd pass away, they would have good gifts for their children. You know, that's a big thing to think about. Make sure your family has the means to keep going on. You are leaving a mega legacy. Leave a mega legacy. Keep working at it. It will happen. Be frugal now. Save your money. Don't spend it. Put it somewhere where it's gaining interest. If you have interest bearing accounts that you're paying on, like your mortgage, your car loans, stuff like that, your credit cards, wipe them out as fast as you can. Make double payments if you can. Don't worry, when you're done paying and you paid all that extra real fast, they will send you a check back for all the extra interest that you prepaid. Then you'll have that. You know, I had to really think when I first started. I didn't have no money, but I needed a place to live. So I took out a loan on my truck title. My truck was already paid off. And I bought a trailer with it. Took in my truck title, I gave it to the bank, and they gave me a loan. That's collateral. Then I paid it off. As soon as I got into that place, I paid it off as quick as possible. Whenever I could make a full double payment, I did. When I could make a payment and a half, I did. But when I first started out, I wasn't making that much money, so I was paying $3, $4 extra a month. And then it was $10 extra a month. You know, once bills started getting paid off, I'd take that extra little bit of money and I'd pay it over to them to pay that truck off. So years ago, I learned this. In the Bible, it says, "Owe no man no debt." Keep that in mind. You don't owe nobody nothing. Nobody. You don't want to be enslaved to them for the rest of your life. Who wants to be enslaved to a mortgage company? I don't. I know you don't. You're like, yeah, but I have a good mortgage company and I got good insurance through them and da da da. No, that's money you could be putting in your coffers. You could be growing up your little treasure box, growing to become a millionaire. Think about that. Change the way that you are doing things. Pay off those loans and mortgages as quick as possible. People thought I was crazy. They're like, why are you making double payments on that? I was like, because I need to. I need to get it out from underneath my belt. Why should I be paying on this? I want to be driving my vehicle scot free. I don't want to owe no man for my truck, and I don't want them to be able and come and take it. Of course, I was smart because I used my truck title to get the loan from my house. So if I would break a leg and couldn't work, I still had my house free and clear. Even if they had to come get my truck, I still had my house. But I did not miss a payment. I had to really be frugal during that time. And let me tell you, I was as frugal. If there was a sale, I didn't buy it unless I knew I absolutely needed it. And I had coupons to go along with that sale. And then I would save the UPCs off of it and the receipts for it. So later down the road, I could use it on a refund where, they put out those refunds. There's all kinds of stuff on the internet you can go find where they will refund you for those UPC sales. You send them in and they send you a check. So it might be $1 or two. But guess what? It happens and you can make money with it. Do whatever you can at this at any cost to get your truck and your mortgage loans paid off. Your credit cards, pay them off as quick as possible, and then cut them up. You can live with a debit card. The only way I suggest using a credit card is if you're earning money with that credit card. Like I had one that every time I swiped, it did not matter where I swiped that card at, it paid me a nickel. But I used my coupons, I used my refunds, I used whatever I could, I looked for the big sales, and then I used my credit cards. I was getting paid back on my credit card on top of saving money and getting refunds back, and start tracking it. Get a notebook and start tracking it. Start tracking where you're saving your money and how much you're saving. Start tracking it. That way you know where to put your money. Oh, here comes the forklift again. So I'm going to cut this short today. I just wanted to get that out to you. And I know I've been yapping along, so I understand if you watch me in fast mode. I don't blame you, but I want you to leave in the comments. What are some good ways that what are some good things that you do that saves money? That truly saves you money. If you're not subscribed, please do so now. I should have asked that earlier on in the video, but I'm asking it now for those of you that followed me to this point. If you followed me to the end, thank you so much. You know I truly appreciate when you do that. Okay, love yous guys. Bye.